Okay, folks, so the left does eat their own children for sure that they give birth to. Now, the universities gave birth to these children, and these children are the sons and daughters of communists because that is kind of the underlying theme that runs through educational institutions in the United States right now. And it's not by accident. No, this has been a thing since John Dewey in the early 1900s. He was an ardent supporter of communism, and he was the guy who came up with much of the curriculum that we see today. And so it's no accident that it's this way. And I think most people seem to recognize that now, except the students themselves and the teachers themselves. Well, the students, I would especially say, because they really are the dupes here. In any case, University of Washington, anti-Israel encampment postponed over lack of diversity. Yes, color me shocked. A planned anti-Israel encampment at the University of Washington was scrapped at the last minute because of a lack of diversity, following fierce backlash for not involving any Muslim, Palestinian, or Arab students, or Jewish, right? It's not very diverse when you are basically anti-Jewish or anti-Semitic. So that diversity, equity, inclusion thing gets flushed right down the drain. And that was a false flag anyway, that whole thing. After long discussions, we have had to make the hard decision to postpone our action for several days. The school's Progressive Student Union announced Thursday, the day its UW-Palestine encampment was supposed to take over a quad at 8 a.m. It sounds a bit early for protesters, though. You know, they're still getting over their hangovers and, recovering from the night before. We want to make sure this encampment is a better reflection of the UW community and have even greater unity with Muslim, Palestinian, and Arab students, said the group. Let's see here. Yeah, they're there with a flag. Pro-Palestinian demonstrators protested at the University of Washington's Gerberding Hall in Seattle Thursday night. We want to make sure everyone's voice is included. The group said it was influenced by protests at Columbia, NYU, the University of Michigan, and beyond that showed the student movement in this country will not back down in its fight for Palestinian liberation. As long as there's a Starbucks nearby and you're safely buffered from being in Gaza by about 5,000 miles, as long as that's the case, I'm all for it. But if you want me to go to Gaza and help those people, there's no way. There's no in hell I'm going there. Remember that this is what the thinking is. University administrators informed Jewish leaders that the school had no plans to stop the encampment unless the event escalates and threatens life safety, which it seems to. It seems to have gotten to that point at some of these schools. However, the initial announcement of the encampment sparked anger at those not involved. So this update comes from Instagram, and it says, update. After long discussions, we have had to make the hard decision to postpone our action for several days. We apologize to the community. The decision to postpone was made to build unity. And down here, it just says, it's hard to read, but it just says, hi, everyone. After meeting and having a blah, 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 we want to be part of a much larger coalition of groups, and make no mistake, we will have a UW encampment. We want to make sure everyone's voice is included. Okay, we get it. Please listen to the Palestinian, Arab, and Muslim students criticizing this event and cancel it. One person commented to the initial post. Y'all have zero community support in this because of your inability to center Palestinians and Arabs, and this is so poorly planned. Another person commented, why was the Students United for Palestinian Equality and Return not consulted? Another person asked. Another person says, why is there no Arab or Muslim leadership? This is the only page I have seen this posted, which leads me to believe that there are no other organizations that endorse this action. This is dangerous and weird, to be honest. They always say dangerous, right? When they're triggered, when there is no real danger. Despite the embarrassing backlash, the Progressive Student Union promised to press ahead. And as you saw, we will have a UW encampment. Anti-Israel protests have ratcheted up on college campuses over the nation, like with Columbia, New York City. And of course, demonstrations have been kind of ongoing since October 7th, since there was that attack, Hamas's attack on Israel. So students at NYU also set up an encampment, which was torn down this week at the direction of school leaders. Logistical considerations. All cash donations will still be used to an encampment or action of a similar nature. Well, why do you need donations when George Soros is funding this entire thing? Somebody had mentioned at NYU, they were not involved in the protests. They said, I go there, but I noticed that when they set up their encampment, there was all these brand new tents. They all looked the same. Like some had come in a truck. And there's no way these protesters would pay for this themselves. There's no way. They're not going to do that. They're not committed. And these protests aren't organic. They're meant to cause anarchy, sponsored by your favorite, George Soros. And Qatar, too, the great nation of Qatar, who harbors the headquarters of Hamas. Again, I digress. Any foods donated which would perish before a new start date will be donated to mutual aid. Check something. Organizations and houseless shelters. All foods and materials which could be used will be used. Okay. USC students in Southern California also attempted to set up an encampment Wednesday, which resulted in the arrest of 93 student protesters. That same day, hundreds of local and state Texas cops clashed with protesters at the University of Texas at Austin. Officers made 34 arrests. And at the behest of the University in Texas Governor Greg Abbott, according to the Department of Public Safety. Okay, interesting. So here's some of the great headlines about it. And as I said, of course, we know that George Soros is much behind this. And they canceled the event because their anti-Semitism wasn't diverse enough, is not something I expected to hear. It even needs diversity to hate people properly in today's world. Yeah, if you're going to hate, though, we have to do it appropriately, okay? And we have to live within the bounds of our own rules. And this makes life super, super duper complicated because, as you see, these are the same people that cheerlead for DEI, which is like the essence of institutionalized wokeness, and racism, because it is racist, super racist. And so they are suddenly going, well, I guess we have to abide. So I give them kudos. They're abiding by their own rules. There were none other universities that were doing this, but the world gets super narrow, super small, closed-minded, and complicated when you throw all these rules in on human behavior and changing human nature. It's a complex scenario. Let's see. This has to be a Babylon Bee headline. They can't even get the protest right. No, they apparently can't. So you get the gist. Apparently God is great, has a great sense of humor too. I know, I always get a kick out of this too. I always have to look at and you have to try to do this, look at all these events. And I think one thing that does help is when you feel a bit overwhelmed, try to find some of the goofy, funny things to the side of it, because you could go, oh, well, there's violence, there's all this anarchy, there's chaos going on, but also too, these type things kind of undermine the whole thing because they do make you laugh. Oh man, too many white libs, you can't make this up. Well, it seems DEI has invaded every facet of our society now. Hamas now has DEI. Yeah, congratulations, good. Let's see, not enough hate to go around. Western libs, we detest racism, sexism, homophobia, militarism, corruption, and oppression. Gaza under Hamas, a racist, sexist, homophobic, militaristic, corrupt, and oppressive police state. Western liberals, we love Hamas. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be Jew-free. Morons is about right. You can't make this stuff up, comedy gold. Maybe the few activists would better spend their efforts by traveling to Gaza and support the terrorist war. I agree. So, and of course, this is kind of the epitome of the pictures here, is this white liberal total dupe. He's been totally duped. And he's probably, I would say, and he's got, of course, he's got American apparel or underwear on here, so that's good. He's advertising. U.S. police aggressively cracking down against students. Not only is the U.S. government complicit in Gaza genocide with arms and political support for Israel, but now they want to silence the protests at campuses. Well, you can go ahead. I mean, I totally support it. You want to protest and you want to say these things, even though they're hateful. You can say all these things. You can protest and you can hold signs up, but you have to do it peacefully. There are rules to this. But yes, I believe in this. Freedom of expression, freedom to go out there. You get a permit to go protest, go protest. But when you start doing the encampments and you start pushing back on cops and stuff like that, well, yeah, at that point you're breaking the law. It's not your free expression anymore. It's that you're breaking the law, and it's like an incursion on other people's rights. Like there were people blocking people from going to class, and then there was people blocking a Jewish professor, from walking across the quad, things like that. So anyway, you get the point, folks. And anyway, enjoy the clown show. And thanks for watching, folks. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.